Let's get you all the latest updates this morning on the investigation by the Delhi police into the Creta Toolkit case. A team of Delhi police raided activist Shantanu Muluk's house in Maharashtra's Beed district yesterday. Police questioned his family, scanned bank account details also to find some crucial evidence. Police says that Shantanu, along with Nikita Jacob and Disha Ravi, remember she's already been arrested, they all involved in this toolkit case and had attended a Zoom call organized by members of pro-Khalistani group, the Poetic Justice Foundation. India Today has also accessed a signed statement of Nikita dating February 11, stating that she will cooperate with the Delhi police probe, but when cops reached her house on February 12th, she went missing. She was untraceable. Amid this, both Nikita and Shantanu have moved the Bombay High Court for interim protection from police action. While Shantanu's hearing has been listed today and will come up by evening, Nikita's plea has been listed for tomorrow at 2 p.m. So there is a massive controversy over the Delhi police's action. Widespread outrage and anger after the Delhi police arrested Bengaluru-based climate activist Disha Ravi for editing the farmer protest toolkit shared by Greta Thunberg. Now the cops have slapped a serious charge of conspiracy against Disha, triggering national and international condemnation. Here are all the updates.
A 22-year-old climate activist, Disha Ravi, is in the eye of a raging storm over toolkit in the Republic Day unrest case. Slapped with grave charges like sedition and criminal conspiracy, trouble seems to be mounting for Disha. Delhi police have claimed that they have unearthed a big Khalistani-linked plot against India.
One portion of the toolkit document mentioned action points named prior action. As you are aware, they were digital strike through, hashtag on 26th January and earlier, tweet storm on 23rd January onwards, and physical action on 26th January.
Not only that, police says that she even was part of a Zoom meeting with pro-Khalistani Poetic Justice Foundation's Mod Haliwal along with co-accused Nikita.
On 11th January, Nikita and Shantanu attended a Zoom meeting organized by Poetic Justice Foundation in which the modalities of the Global Day of Action were worked out.
But activists have put the police in dock, questioning why no action were taken on banned organizations before Republic Day. A citizens' march demanding release of Disha was also held in Bengaluru. The opposition and several key global figures have trained their guns at the Modi government.
I am really sorry that actual who are the guilty and who are the doing the mistakes, and especially the BJP IT cells. They cannot spare a 21 years girl. Fight the politics politically, but don't abuse the people, don't accuse the people, don't beat the farmers, don't beat the students, don't beat the other people.
A country which is not afraid of China can't possibly be afraid of Disha. If there is a conspiracy involved, which the government says there is, then they should make Greta Thunberg an accused, and make Rihanna an accused.
The BJP, however, hit back at the critiques.
This Tukde gang, those who are trying to divide this country through this toolkit, in fact, they have to face the tune of the law of this country. What is wrong in that? Why politicize this issue?
Disha's arrest saw several international figures questioning the Modi government. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, who has been silent on atrocities being faced by Pak activists, was quick to point fingers at India. His party accused the Modi government and RSS of silencing voices of activists. US Vice President's niece, Meena Harris, tweeted condemning the arrest, saying that activists should not be targeted and silenced by the government. But while Disha arrest has sparked outrage, the question remains whether she was into activism or was there something sinister. Bureau Report, India Today.
A lot of politics that's also playing out over the arrest of activist Disha Ravi. Opposition parties are hitting out at the centre, accusing them of using state machinery to muzzle dissenters. Apart from the opposition, you even have Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, US Vice President Kamala Harris's niece, who've condemned the arrest of Disha.
A tweet that took social media by a storm. A toolkit that raised Khalistani link to the farmer protest. And now, a 22-year-old's arrest has left the nation divided. The opposition and several key global figures have trained their guns at the Modi government. The Congress and the Trinamool Congress allege that the centre is scared of an unarmed young woman.
I am really sorry that who are the guilty and who are the doing the mistakes, and especially the BJP IT cells. They cannot spare a 21 years girl. Fight the politics politically, but don't abuse the people, don't accuse the people, don't beat the farmers, don't beat the students, don't beat the other people.
A country which is not afraid of China can't possibly be afraid of Disha, right? And if there is a conspiracy involved, which the government says there is, then they should make Greta Thunberg an accused, and make Rihanna an accused.
Even BJP's ally JDU joined in with the opposition ranks.
गिरफ्तारी उनको प्राथमिकता की दर्ज हुई है, उसके आधार पर गिरफ्तारी होती है। उनको भी अपने आप को डिफेंड करने का अधिकार है, लेकिन पुलिस को किसी फैब्रिकेटेड मामला बता करके, दिखा करके या प्रयास करके किसी के साथ प्रताड़ना की कार्रवाई नहीं करनी चाहिए।
हम अपील करते हैं आज देश के युवाओं को, द यूथ ऑफ इंडिया को, कि आप एक स्वर में साथ आकर और स्ट्रांग तरीके से, मजबूती से भाजपा सरकार को जवाब दें और उन्हें अपनी ताकत का एहसास दिलाएं।
Disha's arrest saw several international figures questioning the Modi government. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan, who has been silent on atrocities being faced by activists from Pakistan, was quick to point fingers at India. His party accused the Modi government and the RSS of silencing voices of activists. Imran's party said the centre arrested Disha after using cricketers and Bollywood to build this narrative. US Vice President's niece, Meena Harris, tweeted condemning the arrest, saying that activists should not be targeted and silenced by the government. UK MP Claudia Webb and American environmentalist Bill McKibben also jumped in, expressing solidarity for Disha. Hitting back, the BJP claimed that young and impressionable minds are being used as cannon fodder in an anti-India plot.
This Tukde gang, those who are trying to divide this country through this toolkit, in fact, they have to face the tune of the law of this country. What is wrong in that? Why politicize this issue?
After the Greta Thunberg toolkit controversy, now the arrest of Disha Ravi and the non-bailable warrant against Nikita Jacob have also invited a lot of international criticism. While on the one hand, most of them are not commenting on the farm laws per se, they are talking about and condemning the manner in which the Indian state has handled the arrest and the warrants against activists in India. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
After Lord Ram and Durga, the Saraswati Puja has become the latest flashpoint between the ruling TMC and BJP in poll-bound Bengal. In a bid to woo voters ahead of the state polls, both BJP and TMC have geared up to use Saraswati Puja, which is one of the most important religious and cultural events in Bengal. While BJP leaders are gifting Saraswati idols to people, TMC has organized more than 100 pujas in Hooghly district alone. TMC MP Aparupa Podar herself overseeing all arrangements. The TMC is also using the puja to publicize welfare schemes launched by Mamta. However, the BJP has accused TMC of using the puja to get Hindu votes. The BJP alleged that in a bid to consolidate its vote bank, the TMC is now attempting to woo Hindus.
দুর্গা পূজার বিসর্জন করতে গেলে পুজো করতে গেলে হাইকোর্টে সুপ্রিম কোর্টে যেতে হয় এই ব্যবস্থা কিন্তু আগে ছিল না। উলবেড়িয়ায় সরস্বতী পুজো করতে গেলে ছাত্রছাত্রীদের পথ অবরোধ করতে হয়। মুর্শিদাবাদের তো এমন এমন বিদ্যালয়ের নাম আমি বলে দিতে পারি যেখানে মাননীয়ার আমলে সরস্বতী পুজো বন্ধ হয়েছে।
सबको मालूम है भारतीय जनता पार्टी, भारतीय जो आदर्श है, जो संस्कृति है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी मानते हैं। हम सब देव देवी का पूजा भी करते हैं, मानते भी है, हमारे ये संस्कृति है। हम लोग चाहते हैं जो पश्चिम बंगाल में सब लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सरकार का इंतजार कर रहे हैं। अभी ये सरस्वती पूजा करके कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा उनका। सरस्वती पूजा सब घर घर में होता है हमारा।
People of Bengal, the common people, the educated people, they are knowing that what the environment is prevailing all over India. Now we have to save Bengal from the clutches of this BJP. So many more clubs have been involving in this puja, and they are doing it on the banner of Trinamool Congress.
BJP has always alleged that Mamata government do not allow people to celebrate Saraswati Puja in West Bengal. But this election year, TMC is trying to change that notion. Herself, MP Apurupa Poddar is celebrating Saraswati Puja in West Bengal, particularly in Hooghly. Almost 125 localities are performing and celebrating Saraswati Puja this year under the leadership of Trinamool Congress. With cameraman Tapas Bairi, Anupam Mishra, India Today, Hooghly.
Remember that there is a donation drive that's underway for the Ram Mandir, and there's a controversy that's erupted over that in Karnataka. Former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy stated that the RSS is marking homes that have contributed and haven't contributed for the Mandir. The JDS leader expressed concerns over RSS adopting Nazi policies in India and its impact on the country's future. In a series of tweets, he also said that India is witnessing a situation where one cannot freely express their views. Kumaraswamy also expressed concerns over the fate of the country. The mountaintops of the Finger Four area on the northern bank of Pangong Lake that Chinese troops had occupied for months have finally been vacated. The PLA is pulled back from Pangong Finger Four as part of the disengagement process between the two armies. Security officials told India Today that there is considerable thinning of troops from Finger Four. The Chinese have also removed several shelters and other structures between Finger 5 and 8. This also includes bases that were set up for additional boats, jetties between Finger 5 and 6, as well as tanks from the southern bank. Now, as per the plan, China should pull back to Finger 8 and India will move to Finger 3 near the Dhan Singh Tapa post. Deployment from South Bank will also be withdrawn. After that, there will be a core commander level meet to discuss other friction areas. This is like Hot Springs, Gogra, the 900 square kilometer Depsang Plains as well.
Short or long range?
You've meanwhile got the Congress continuing to question disengagement along the LAC despite proof being there on camera. Senior Congress leader, former Defence Minister A.K. Antony has again questioned the Ladakh breakthrough, calling it a surrender rather by the Modi government to China. This even as the Chinese, as I mentioned earlier, have vacated Pangong Finger 4 ridgeline and removed structures from the no patrol zone.
On ground zero, the tanks and artillery units are moving back. After 10 months in a tense standoff, a mutually agreed Sino-Indian disengagement in force at Pangong Tso in Ladakh. But the Congress is smelling a conspiracy, claiming surrender of Indian territory to China after Rahul Gandhi and A.K. Antony trained guns on the Modi government.
This engagement team says Chinese will go back to the finger number 8, their area. We will go, our army will come back to finger number 3. Where is? There is our permanent headquarters. Forgetting the fact, we have a post at finger number 4. That's why he said both disengagement and the so-called buffer zone creation is a surrender.
Sharpening the attack, the Congress has alleged that the marginal increase in the defense budget was to keep China in good humor.
To appease China, because that is the show the budget also. They don't want to show to the world and China, they don't want to show China that we are engaged in defense budget. We are not engaged in defense budget. So we don't want to confront you.
The BJP was quick to hit back, calling the Congress's words language of enemy countries.
या तो चाइना की भाषा बोलेंगे या पाकिस्तान की बोलेंगे या ऐसी बात बोलेंगे जिसको पाकिस्तान और चाइना इंटरनेशनल फोरम में भारत के खिलाफ इस्तेमाल करती है.
नॉर्थ बैंक में फिंगर.
The Ministry of Defense has issued a formal statement insisting India has not conceded any territory for the thaw, adding it has on the contrary enforced sanctity and respect for the line of actual control.
संपूर्ण सदन हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस की इस विषम एवं भीषण बर्फबारी की परिस्थितियों में भी शौर्य और वीरता के प्रदर्शन की भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा करे. मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि जिन शहीदों के शौर्य और पराक्रम की नींव पर यह डिसएंगेजमेंट आधारित है उन्हें देश सदैव याद रखेगा. सभापति महोदय.
A point reiterated by former Army Chief General Bikram Singh at the India Today Conclave East, appreciating India's stance, forcing China to retreat.
The very fact that they are going back, it is on account of the leadership and on account of the political and military leadership. I have no hesitation in saying this. I'm sorry, I do not want to get, between the two political leaders. But I'm being very honest with you. I think kudos go to the political leadership of our country and to the military leadership. Let me tell you, it's been a very, very challenging assignment for the military leadership.
After the Pangong disengagement, India is now set to shift focus to flashpoints like Depsang, Hot Springs and Gogra Post. But will there be any let-up in the political crossfire?
The Chinese army has not just withdrawn its tanks and armored personnel carriers, but is also taking down infrastructure like bunkers, sangars, communication cables, tracks that had been laid in the past 10 months in the area of dispute. But commanders on ground, far detached from politics on the subject that's raging in the national capital, say this is only battle half won. Their aim is now to focus, once this task is complete, on the restoration of status quo ante all along the LAC from Depsang to Demchok. With cameraman Kripal Singh in Ladakh and Abhishek Bhalla in Delhi, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
All those theories about the Chepauk wicket being a batsman's grave were thrown out the window by Ravichandran Ashwin, who slammed his 5th Test century in rather trying conditions on day 3 of the second Test. India now just 7 wickets away from making it 1-all in the 4-match Test series after they set England a mammoth 482-run target. By the time the day came to a close, England batting had already started to crumble and were 53 for 3 at stumps. The question no longer is what, but when. When will India win today?
Catch!
Just like day 2, India lost early wickets on day 3. Cheteshwar Pujara was dismissed in an unfortunate manner. Ben Foakes' brilliance behind the stumps ended Rohit Sharma's innings on 26. Rishabh Pant was promoted ahead of Ajinkya Rahane, but he managed just 8 as Jack Leach picked his 3rd wicket.
Floated up above the eye line, the tempter for Rishabh Pant.
It was neat. So just to be in the right position in the air.
Rahane lasted only 14 deliveries and became Moeen Ali's first victim.
Please let that.
Wickets were falling at one end and Virat was stamping his authority on the other. The Indian skipper started cautiously and then began to dominate.
Lovely shot. Again, that's the point I think we were making up here.
At 106 for 6, Ravi Ashwin joined Virat and took the sweep shot to counter English spinners.
And we'll find the gap.
The duo soon brought up a half-century partnership as India went into lunch on 156 for 6.
Catching on the first one. 50 for the
Just like Rohit, Virat too dished out a masterclass with the bat.
Along with the small matter of 27.
The Indian skipper completed his 50 and Ashwin followed suit.
Quite predictable the length that he's going to bowl.
The duo added 96 runs for the 7th wicket as India extended their dominance in Chennai.
A very well deserved half-century.
Virat Kohli was finally dismissed for 62 as the wait for a century continues for the Indian skipper. But at the other end, Ashwin was solid like a rock. He took his chances and reached his 5th Test century on a track that many said was a grave as far as batsmen were concerned.
What a performance! What a performance indeed!
He was finally dismissed for 106 as India set England a record 482-run target to win the Test.
Ravichandran Ashwin. Full stretch.
In reply, Akshar Patel got Tom Sibley leg before, and it didn't take much time for Ashwin to get into the act as well. And the off-spinner had gotten rid of Rory Burns. England sent Jack Leach as the night watchman, but it needed Akshar Patel just one delivery to send him where he came from. At stumps, England were reduced to 53 for 3, and it will be only a matter of time before India wipe off the English batting on day 4 to level the series 1-all.
Just have to get in the right areas.
Sports Bureau, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.